My greetings to you, good fellows out there. As it's always been with all the videos, we're trying to prove a point, or I'm trying to prove a point to sort of look into the sources of which the problems that we have in life is all about. In some ways, I'm disproving that the widely claim of certain books to be from the divine God, or the divine God in which we all have, as a result, we all are what we are. Or let's say, from something that we will see as the source of life. I see it as what is claimed to be from the source of life in terms of laws and written words and guidance to human life, or the living things, what living things should sort of use as their guide in life. I am looking at these testing these writings, and I'm disproving it as not necessarily coming from the ultimate God or coming from the source. And if it is, it's rather the opposite. It is rather the source of the problem, and not coming from the source of which we are supposed to trust as a means to sort of resolve our life issues and become better people. If we feel that we are not better people, there are many others who have been convinced to see that we are better people, we're better off, and we've progressed, and we are progressing. There are people who have the positive mindset of the current status of life, and they are disregarding the state of fear. Of course, if you have all the protection you need in life, if you have all the money you need in life, if you are among the elites or the few that have acquired that status, whether through education, through some popular lifting up of your views, or whichever way it is, you've got yourself up somewhere, or you've acquired so much through means of force or persuasion or deception. You've been able to acquire so much that anything you want in life you can get. Definitely, you are in a good level of status which you would not experience a state of fear of which the majority might, be facing. And you always put them into the state of convincing them that they are secured, whilst you know within yourself that it is you who are secured, but not the wider sense of people, or the wider majority of the people out there. So it's something that worries a lot, not just me, I believe a lot of people. But it's hard to reach out, because the means to do that is not even there. Not many have got the means to do that. There are people who want to voice out, a lot of people, because it's not just a one-man issue that I am living my life thinking that I'm the only one having problems. No. There are others who also don't even have this problem. They are okay, but had a sense of courtesy and care. The humane attitude is just in them. That they are okay, but they choose to help others. They choose to voice out or stand in place of those who cannot do that. Because they go along with their peers, and they hear the plans that their peers are taking, and some selfish decisions that are being made, and it touches their heart, and they sort of feel sorry for those who will be victims of such kind of decisions, and they sort of step in and they voice out. Even they cannot even have enough power or backing to get whatever they want done. So life is strange, but all I can say is that at the end of the day is the source that we have to look into, break that part, take it out of the way, so that the human character, the human nature will change. When the Bible describes of end coming of Antichrist and all that, the development of the Antichrist is all based on the feeding of information. The spirit will sort of build you up into that sense. It says the spirit, that force of will not come outside. It will come from within. The Antichrist is going to come from within. Okay, now within, as he is stated or is being revealed, it's not something outside the prophecy or the source or the sort of the test or the group of which the test sort of revolve around. It's going to be within, so that you cannot really accuse such an action, because if your own brother is doing something bad to you, it's hard for you to know, because you've always lived to know that he's your brother and he loved you and he will not do anything bad to you. So the devil, if the devil is coming out and that option is being revealed in the Bible, that's how he's going to come out, I think it's a smart idea, and it's an idea that he will probably use, or the devil will probably use, than the other option where he's going to be so obvious, coming out so obvious, where, from the enemy end, he will come out from within, being a brother, being a Christian, or being whatever. If the Muslim also have the same vision, whatever the devil is, he's going to come from within the Islamic group. If it's the Buddhists have a vision of that nature, whatever it is will come from within the Buddhist group. Because when he come out as a brother or that, then those who know of it, he can manipulate them and they cannot, point finger. They'll be pointing. He'll even help them to point finger at others so that they will not be able to recognize him whilst he's leading them. And they'll be pointing a finger at somebody else. And then he will have the chance and operate and do whatever evil that he's intended to do. So it does make sense that if it comes to a test reveals that it's going to come from within, then yes, it's going to come from within. So let Christians or Buddhists or Muslims who have such kind of prophecy of a coming of an end of an evil person should know that it's going to come from within among yourselves. And it's not a hidden thing, it's something more obvious. So look into that. That next brother next to you, or that child being born today, that doesn't mean that we should go and execute people or kill children or whatever. But the idea of the whole thing is encouraged, to my view, because of the very text or the book that we use. And the books that we use is, let's say, the Christians who use the Bible. Christians use the Bible, which is the red letter Bible. Okay, they use the Bible to sort of. We have also possibility to think as Bible. And the Muslims, I have the Muslims book here, which also use the Quran by Abdullah. They use the Quran to sort of as a test to give the information that these books are from God through a prophet, that it has come, through prophets. The Torah is comprised also it's also the Jewish way of approaching God, and they also have they can reveal most of their text also in the Old Testament here. It's like the same trend of tradition, but they've all divided to have some differences among themselves, or believe that their way of approach will be different. The way of approach have been different from each other, so everybody have his own belief of approach to God. So they all have their separations. So even if any of them claim God, from what I have just said in their separations, it reveals that it is their own assumptions, their own, thought. All God himself has put them into that state to prevent them seeing the fact of the matter or the truth. So basically, the source of this information has fed people over the years. Religion and culture, as I've always said, has made people become what they have become in the decisions they take. And it's the same thing that will be when the revealing of any evil person coming out among the society will sort of depend on to make his decisions, or will sort of depend on who has resulted in all these things. Let's say prophecy has been spoken, and if I read these prophecies, it's something which has been written a long time ago. We talk of books which were meant to exist 2000 and many years back. And so you can imagine that the generations to this moment that has come before these years will all have an idea of these texts, of these writings. And what did they do when they have it? They also soaked it in. They soak in the writings. And so over time, the human nature, giving birth, having children, and the life coming into them, and breeding children and giving them information and giving them the guidance and what to do and all that. It will come to a point where it's going to erect or materialize something more godly among us. That is what we should expect.